Welcome to 2025, and there's nothing like ringing in the new year than by buying another 1,000 Bitcoin. Michael Saylor's relentless crusade continues. Welcome back, my friends, and buckle up because we got a big one today. Huge. Hold on. Nation states and billionaires aren't just buying Bitcoin. They're racing for it like there's a doomsday clock ticking down on fiat. Hold on a minute. Let's see that again. Bitcoin to 900K. Nation states and billionaires are racing for the remaining Bitcoin. Yes, you read that right. And no, this isn't some tinfoil hat moment. It's happening. The question is, are you going to be left holding fiat bags while billionaires and governments drain the market? All right, now one sec. Let's check the clock. Yep, it's time to send it!
My strategy would be, and I really think it's evil genius strategy, right? If it's like, it's so good, right? That our enemies would hate us, but our allies would complain too. And the US would make $100 trillion in a heartbeat, right? Here's the strategy. You dump gold, demonetize the entire gold network. You buy Bitcoin, you buy 5 million or 6 million Bitcoin, you monetize the Bitcoin network. All the capital in the world sitting in Siberian real estate or Chinese natural gas or every other currency derivative that's held as a long-term store of value. Europeans, Africans, South Americans, Asians, they all just dump their crappy property and their crappy capital assets and they buy Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin goes to the moon. The US is the big beneficiary. US companies are the big beneficiary. And while you're doing that, you normalize and support digital currency. And you just define digital currency as the US dollar backed by US dollar equivalents in a regulated US custodian that's audited. What happens next? $150 billion of stablecoin goes to $1 trillion, 2, 4, 8, and probably somewhere between 8 and $16 trillion. And you create 10 to $20 trillion of demand for US sovereign debt. And so you're like, while you're taking away a little bit of the demand because the capital asset of Bitcoin grows, you're adding back the demand to back the stable coin.
I am pro evil genius strategy. Okay, so imagine this. You walk into a store to grab some snacks. Suddenly, Jeff Bezos and the Prime Minister of Canada are fighting over the last box of Pringles. That's basically what's happening with Bitcoin. Let me hit you with some facts. 60 billionaires already own Bitcoin. And the other 2,700 billionaires, they're circling Bitcoin like vultures. And let's say, hypothetically, each one throws in roughly 500 million cuckbucks. That's 1.35 trillion flowing straight into Bitcoin. That's pretty bullish. But here's where it gets spicy. There's only roughly 2 to 2.5 million Bitcoin left on exchanges. Do the math! We're talking 900K per Bitcoin levels of scarcity. Do you feel that? That's FOMO creeping in. But wait, it's not just billionaires. Nation states are eyeing Bitcoin like it's the last lifeboat on the sinking fiat Titanic. Canada? Well, it looks like the next prime minister will definitely be pushing for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Roll it!
We also have to increase the purchasing power of our money. We're printing cash. Bottom line is we're growing the money supply, which causes inflation. We're printing money to fund irresponsible government spending. If you have an economy with 10 apples and $10, it's a buck an apple. You double the amount of money to $20, but your economy still has 10 apples. You're not twice as rich. It's just that now each apple costs twice as much. That's inflation. Our government has created $700 billion more cash in the last 4 years. That's a 40% increase in the money supply, during which time our output has grown by 4%. So we're growing the money 10 times faster than we grow the stuff that money buys. We have to cap spending and get the central bank back to its job of preserving the purchasing power of our people.
Canada's liberation incoming, and the US? Well, some ex-CFTC chairman, probably doesn't know anything. He just said stockpiling Bitcoin makes sense and countries have been stockpiling commodities forever.
So Trump proposed a Bitcoin stockpile, as you know, not a reserve, but a stockpile. It's a subtle difference. Okay. Countries have been stockpiling commodities since the dawn of time. We stockpile oil. We used to stockpile gold. China stockpiles rebar and copper and soybeans. Countries stockpile precious commodities as the world's first digital commodity. I think it makes sense for the United States. I think it's a very forward-looking idea.
Yeah. You know what else makes sense? Not printing money like it's Monopoly night. Look at this. The U.S. Treasury is basically on a hockey stick trajectory. Meanwhile, the velocity of money? Yeah, it's been sinking like your portfolio if you still believe in the S&P 500 over Bitcoin. Billionaires are stacking, nation states are stacking, and the average dude, well, he's out here stacking sats and ramen. You're either in the game or you're the liquidity. And let's talk about the ETFs for a second. IBIT, that's BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, has become the 7th most traded ETF options contract in less than 2 months. Are you paying attention? They're moving 1.7 billion daily. So while Karen from accounting is debating her Starbucks points, BlackRock is literally eating the Bitcoin supply.
The whole setup we have right now is perfect for a run-up. Given that the exchanges have about 2.2 million, maybe less. Like last note says 2.2, I think it's less. And the demand is like 3,000-4,000 a day, just from ETFs alone. That doesn't leave us a lot of time to drain that pool of Bitcoin.
That's nearly 1.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay, I see your thesis.
So demand is like 10x now. It's going to 20x. So the price should react accordingly.
Now listen closely because this part is important. You remember when Bitcoin jumped from 60K to 108K? Yeah, me too. It was just a few weeks ago. And yeah, that's about to happen again. But this time, we're aiming for 900K. Billionaires are panicking. Nation states are locking in reserves. And I know what you're thinking, but Rustin, the price is already high. No, this isn't high. You know what's high? Treasury debt, fiat inflation, and your rent. Bitcoin at 900K isn't speculation. It's inevitable. And Jan 3 CEO Samson Mao is about to tell you why. Oh, and did you ever wonder what buying just $13 of Bitcoin a day could do for you and your family? Well, you're about to find out. But before the big finish, look at our likes.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp while we take a moment to recognize our sponsors, your #1 spot to learn how to Bitcoin. The masters of Bitcoin sovereignty, the Bitcoin way. You're looking to learn how to Bitcoin, how to properly secure your Bitcoin? You might want to head on over to the newly revamped Bitcoin Way website where you can begin your road to Bitcoin sovereignty today. If you're looking to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, go ahead and use that link below in the show notes.
The Omega candle will simply just appear because it'll happen all at once. Like we're talking about earlier, many people will not understand Bitcoin, but they will try to copy their neighbor because they don't want to be left out. Or you can call it FOMO if you want. But imagine Berkshire Hathaway, Apple, Microsoft all buying at the same time while MicroStrategy is trying to spend $42 billion on Bitcoin, while the US is trying to accumulate 1 million Bitcoin over a 4-year period, while public mining companies stop selling Bitcoin they mine because they can also run a MicroStrategy playbook and borrow.
While hodlers don't sell.
While hodlers don't sell.
Inevitable. If that doesn't get you bullish, I don't know what will. Meanwhile, MicroStrategy continues playing chess while the world plays checkers. Saylor is literally making MicroStrategy a $1 trillion company by issuing $2 billion in preferred shares to buy more Bitcoin. The dude's not even hiding it at this point. So here's the deal. The next few months, they're critical. Nation states, billionaires, massive corporations, ETFs, they're all making their moves. You got 2 options. Sit back and watch them drain the supply or join the movement. Start stacking. Even if it's $13 a day, you could have turned 23K into 99K over the last 5 years just by doing that. Don't believe me? Go ahead and take a look at that. 318% for Bitcoin versus 26% for the S&P 500. And that's before, well, the mother of all supply shocks kicks in. Hey, you know what else is experiencing a supply shock besides my refrigerator? Tickets to the biggest Bitcoin mining conference on planet Earth. That's right, the biggest Bitcoin mining conference on the planet, and it's coming to Fort Lauderdale March 25th through the 27th. Get your tickets today and join thousands of Bitcoin mining professionals and enthusiasts from around the globe for an electrifying experience at Mining Disrupt. See the latest cutting-edge hardware, products, and services that are revolutionizing the Bitcoin mining industry. For over half a decade, Mining Disrupt has been the premier conference and expo exclusively dedicated to the Bitcoin mining industry. Be part of the future and join the movement that's reshaping the world of Bitcoin mining. Don't miss out. Head over to miningdisrupt.com and get your tickets today. Use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. Oh, and the Simply Bitcoin news desk will be on site. I'm going to be there holding it down with Miko and Opti, and we hope to see you there as well. All right, folks, that's it for today. Remember, the billionaires, corporations, the nation states, they're stacking. The governments are stacking. And soon, the cyborgs are going to be stacking too. The only question is, are you? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pep by sharing this video with someone still stuck in fiat land. Stay the course. The recipe is simple. Keep stacking sats and stay humble. Valhalla awaits, my friends. Get the spray paint ready because 2025 is going to be absolutely insane. Love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.